Just like some people will tell you. Just 1 second. My name is Ross Jason Bowen. Why? This is the 5th, 13th, 2017. Okay, just like some people will tell you, if you don't have something obtained by the age of 26, let's say 32, such as a university degree, a master's, a journeymanship, a house, car, and maybe 1 or 2 kids by then, what's the point of working any harder if you slaved away and barely had enough money to feed? If you have parents like mine that always insinuates you made the bad choices of life and you worked your ass off since you were 9 years old, delivering papers, not getting that money because they took the money from you out of your piggy bank. The laws say all laws protect children in the world and so forth, and don't at all because the parents go in and take what they want and stuff like that. You hit 19, you move out of your house, you work your ass off for nothing at all, and you're barely paying your rent and your bills. You're eating hot dogs for your lunch, which isn't a food supplement to live by, and craft dinner and stuff like that. And all you're doing is scraping by on minimum wage, basic jobs, and you're not ever having enough money. You're working the construction trade, and you're only working as hard as you can work because you can't work any harder in life. And your parents are so retardedly stupid, they don't understand because they've never worked a physical job in their life. This is the dilemma I have. My parents are so stupid, they think sitting on their ass, talking to somebody, pushing paper is a hard job. Driving 2-3 hours from city to city, serving people, making food, or whatnot. They think they worked a hard job because they had to drive around and talk to people. Yep, it's stressful dealing with psychology, talking with people, and ignorance of other people that don't want to do this. Oh, I don't want to see you, I don't want to talk to you. That's right. Oh, there's something in the food. Cook, I can't eat this. And, oh, I don't like your product. Can you do this, this, and this? Your job in life is as hard as you want. In the construction trade, it's your physical body. You're a prostitute using your body to make money for somebody else. You're climbing a ladder. If you don't achieve something and you're not living a life, it ain't worth living. Your human right. Your right to own property, have a family, and everything like that. If you put up with too much bullying or psychological bullshit at the job and you never achieve something in life, life isn't worth going on. That's right. Your life that you were taught in life. Just like reading the fucking Bible. I shall not kill means I shall not hurt somebody with any negative influences of psychiatry that might lead to their death or their pushing themselves out of society, which my parents love to fucking do. They never talked to me my entire life. As soon as you turn 19, well, some type of negative influence. Oh, you're an adult now. Now I can push this into your life. Now I can push that into your life. Now I don't have to treat you like a kid. Bullshit. We're children forever because in the eyes of God, we're always their kid. Hey, God, you and Mom procreated. You put us on earth. Adam, Eve, and Eve. Hey, first one's Adam, Eve 1, Eve 2, Eve 3. Is that the way it's supposed to be? Nope. You didn't build the world in 7 days and 7 nights, but you were the gods who put us on earth. We can't obtain something because we don't have the right education. We don't have the right key pass or key or code to succeed, to go to university, college, or whatnot. Trade work, whether they like you or not, you get in there, you start working, you do the work. Nobody can live on minimum wage and starve to death their whole life and work a physical job. Yep. You sit there and lift a wall that weighs 600 pounds with some type of hoist and all that. Move that dirt over there. Move those bricks. Put those pipes up, hands above your heads with 300-400 pounds, maybe 600 pounds. Use a chain fall up, downstairs, walk all over the place. Yeah, something you have never done in your life. You sat on your asses all life. You think you're a nurse. You think you're a tractor salesman. And you think you're smarter than hell. You think you're a cook too. You sat there and tasted food and cooked for food in front of a hot stove. Yeah, understandable. It's a tough job to stand there all day. It's a tough job to listen to commands. Every job is a chain of command. You have a manager down to the first person that started working. Chain of command. The private to the journeyman. Same concept. You climb a ladder till you hit the top, and you still haven't hit the top. You still have a foreman. And then you have the business owner as well. Yep. Then it belongs to a franchise. Now you have the manager of the building, then you have the district manager, and then you have the federal manager. And then you have the world office. The chain of ladder. Where you are in life. Yep, the only stock in life you want is that stock for a house so you can obtain your money back. As long as you don't destroy the house, you can sell it and get an upgraded one, just like my birth father, Mr. Bame, did. He bought a house in Saskatoon on 900 Street, then Harvard, then he moved to Haight, then he moved to Lawson Heights, then he moved out of the country, understand. Before Saskatchewan, he lived in Moose Jaw in a house, and then he bought a house in Calgary, supposedly. And before that, he didn't rent, because he moved around all the time. Didn't have the money for the down payment, supposedly. Who knows? Just like my parents did. We moved from Brandon. They got married. Dave Lai and Ann Lai. They moved to Lethbridge. They owned a house there. They sold it, supposedly. Moved to Red Deer. We bought a house on Grimson Street. They sold that. They paid $36,000 when they bought that. We moved to BC. And they didn't have enough money for a down payment or to get into a house in BC for some reason. So we had to live in townhouses. Oh, we lived there to my grade 10, then we moved to the Comox Valley in Comox on Torrance Road. They bought a house, $89,000. Yeah, land from Alberta to there went from, $50,000 or $60,000 for the house on Grimson Street to Victoria to $100,000. They couldn't buy into a house because of the price difference. But it was cheaper in the Comox Valley. There wasn't people living here like they had in Victoria. Oh well. They didn't have the sports programs. They didn't have the people, the kids, or whatnot. After 25 years living here, from 1989 to what is it now? 2017. New college, new sports center, new hospitals just being built, and a few different subdivisions, and many houses out in the rural area. Same with Campbell River. Same with the Nanaimo. They had high-rises that weren't there before, or were there and they couldn't build it anymore because they ran out of money. Now they're built. Oh, we got a new Walmart area and whatnot. Politics. Our Prime Minister, as well, is Federal Representative of Canada. Our Premier is our Premier of the province, our representative for the province. Okay, our MLAs are the different districts. Our mayors are the mayors of the cities. The mayor of the cities replies to the MLA. The MLA replies to the Premier, don't they? The Premier now goes to Ottawa and deals with this. All these MLAs from each province shouldn't be sitting in Ottawa 24 hours a day wasting lots of money. Only the Premier should. Makes more sense. Less money being wasted. All those MLAs go to the provincial and sit there and talk for their areas. How do we talk to an MLA when they're never there? Internet's impersonal. Bedside manners terrible. Ain't getting their jobs done. If you want to be addressed in provincial as an individual, the MLA says, here, we need you to come and talk on this day, and this day you sit there for 10 hours or 8 hours, whatever it's in progress, and you'll be addressed to speak in that time frame on that day. If the MLA of that district in that province wants to be heard in Ottawa and speak for themselves, the Premier sets up an appointment in Ottawa. They go there for that day and that day only, or that week, and they get addressed sometime in that week. Wouldn't it save money in some ways as well? Like I said, I haven't achieved anything in my life before I was 26 or 32. I worked my ass off. I didn't have a house paid off in 6 years. I made $9 an hour and didn't make any money. Didn't do drugs, didn't do alcohol, like my mom and dad say and insinuate, or any other family member. Absolutely asinine, psychological abuse, bullying in the household, just like workplace. I had enough. I don't talk to my parents anymore. It's psychological abuse by family violence. I had enough. There are the grounds of divorce to ever speak to them again. Little sister who's 10 years minus that goes, you were never this. She was never there in any discussion. She was too young to understand or see anything. She wasn't present for anything and is going by negative influences of other people. That's all it is. Doesn't see the truth. You give one something and not to the other, that's neglect and assault and abuse. You ain't going to get over it. That's just like what they say over there. See that person over there? Yeah. The cops favored them over that person. That's neglect and abuse as well. See that district over there? It got more money than that one. That's neglect too, isn't it? Oh, you see those people in Africa? You're neglecting them. You refuse to help them. They're starving. We only have to help our city, our province, our country first, our home. You neglect your home and native country of Canada before helping another country, just like foreign aid, then you're neglecting your country of its necessities of life too, and you're helping another country. You're child abusing your country, aren't you? If you're the prime minister, if you were the father of the house, forefathers of the country, looking after the laws and regulations of the country. And if we want to have a vote in a democracy for any changes like gun control and wage increases and infrastructure, shouldn't we have a democracy and a referendum for all laws federally changed? And EI and federal taxes is federal, just like social services. So that ministry looks after every ministry in every province for social development of income assistance, healthcare, and all that. And all those ministries have to talk to the federal one on their apexes per province. So everything's federal. We have WorkSafe BC. Shouldn't it be WorkSafe Canada? And each category, because each province uses the same information to save money on advertisement of WorkSafe BC, like things, just like Saskatchewan has in their government page on YouTube. Same with Alberta. Yeah, they all have Crime Stoppers across the way and have each different videos too. It doesn't make sense. Saving money for the taxpayer so our infrastructure taxes don't go up. Yep, one movie, one advertisement for the whole country. All you do is put a different label or watermark on it, don't you? Or do you just put the Canadian symbol on it, period, and have scroll through every province? Scroll through. Makes more sense. Saving money for this country. Yeah. EI, social services, healthcare. All federal. Because it's ran by the federal laws of the country. All laws are federal, and that's the way it works. Federal. By the ministry. Broken down. Yep. Canadian Bill of Rights, the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedom, controls of substances abuse, the criminal codes, and everything. All federal. Even education. We have to have the same basic education because who can be retrained from province to province, city to city, saying they all have different laws? What's the point of moving? It's like the 10 Commandments in every Christian kingdom. Fundamentals of law that everybody went by because they all went by the 10 Commandments. Plain and simple. The education system, just like you're looking at UBC University and Saskatchewan and Alberta. Their web pages should be all set up the same so we can basically read the information the exact same. Look at Saskatchewan, look at UBC's for kinesiology and sports and recreation and Aboriginal education. Totally different, but they're wasting all these ideas on different types of web designs. More money saved between the institutions because it's all federal information. How an education system has to be. Yep, I got a learning disability because I didn't have classes in life, neglected of stuff. And this is how it works. Nothing I can say or do. I use the same textbooks as everybody else and went at a so lower pace to catch up for the rest of the people. That's all it was, a learning disability. Had to take the exact same courses as everybody else. Period. Oh yeah, I didn't have to take algebra and didn't have to take French. Au revoir. Salut. Bunch of tabernacles, eh? Does that mean traitor or something like that? Anyhow, we'll see you later. I had enough of family violence, bullying at the home front, of negativity and bullshit saying I've never worked hard enough in my life, and I made my own negative choices when I never did. You never talked to me my whole life. At a certain age, you started pushing stupid, dumb things and started trying to be a human being. You didn't want to be a parent when it was necessary. When we turned 19 or 18 years old, you started being a different person and then eventually turned into another person. Then finally saying that we're no good for nothing because you as a pimp never made any money off our backs, did you? Yeah, a great farm boy. On the farm, you have a job. You have to pay us an hourly wage. You till the field. You seed the field. You fertilize the field. You water the field. You let it grow. Harvest time, you harvest the stuff. Truck all the stuff off to the mill or the silo. Hope it's good enough. It's not tainted with anything. Get your money. Live your winter. Got cows, do your chores. Clean the barn. Milk the cows. Send the milk off to the dairy land. Get your money as well. Hopefully your stuff's not tainted. Just like working a job. Show up to the job, learn your product on the shelf, and sell it, go home at the end of the day. You can't work any harder than that. Just like on the construction job. Foreman says, move the dirt, put the 2x4s together, put the pipe up. Same thing. They don't show you right the first time, you're hooped. Worked my life. It's not my fault. Nothing worked out from K to 12, what they told me, just like residential school. You misled human beings, and that's all you've done. Misleading justice, same thing.